Hi, YouTube family. Auntie is here. I'm your auntie of pop culture. I'm Patty Jackson. Thanks so much for joining me. We start with a hug. Woo! Going to start with a hug because, as I always say, there's so much going on. Yes, I'm coming to you today with new curls. I'm getting hair treatments for traction alopecia, and it's coming along really good. There is a part of my head over here that's like, we're going to take a little bit to come in. But what I was so surprised at, because my hair is returning, but I said, where's my gray hair? I guess it said, you've been coloring us for so long that we're not trying to come out. But I was like really, really surprised. I was like, But I'm getting treatments, which include scalp massages, steam, these cool masks, which feel really, really good that they put on my hair. But it's all about stimulating your scalp. And that's what a lot of women need, that scalp stimulation. I know there are some who are dealing with, several forms of alopecia. But for me, she said, oh, your hair will come back. It's just that your edges left you in the 90s with TLC and stuff like that. There's so many things that we women do with our hair. But here's some auntie advice. If you have edges, keep them, protect them, nurture them. No pulling. If you're getting braids and stuff, tell them to leave your edges alone because you need them later in life. Let's give another hug. Come on. Let's start the day. Yesterday, when I was talking about Beyonce's nephew, Solange's son, and, it looks like maybe he didn't get, one of these Instagram people pregnant. And I said that Jay-Z and Matthew need to step up. Well, Lil Jules has a dad. He has a dad, and his dad should get in there as well. I think this is a life lesson. Didn't mean to leave out his dad. And I said, oh, that is so true. He has a dad. He has a dad who is in his life. He's not on the sideline. He is in his son's life. But in these situations, it takes a village. And he's got to learn. This may have been some little prank that went wrong, but you don't want to have a child before your time, and you don't want to get caught up here with people who want to go to the bank. And I will continue to say, go to the bank if you have people who are looking for money. Let's take this time to remember Gilbert Gottfried. He was a very unique comedian and actor. He had this voice that some people are like, oh, I couldn't take his voice. But he had a legendary voice, and he was unmistaken. Gilbert Gottfried was 67 years old. Apparently, he had been having trouble with his heart. And the last tweet that he sent was in support of Chris Rock. He was a one-of-a-kind comedian, sometimes controversial, like right after 9/11 when he thought he could joke about it. And they were like, some of the things he did in the past, the cancel culture just would have tripped all over themselves. But he could be controversial, but he was one of a kind, and he was legendary, and he was loved by other comedians. There was a documentary about Gilbert Gottfried that came out in 2017. And it showed his life. He had his children later in life. He left behind a wife and 2 young kids. But this documentary that came out about his life, I'm sure if you go on like YouTube, you'll be able to find it. He talks about his life. And he did have a life outside of his career as a husband, as a father. But it came out in 2017. We also remember Charles McCormick. He sang on the legendary R&B group Bloodstone. He was 74, about to turn 75. Charles McCormick was an original member of Bloodstone. In the group for over 50 years, he sang lead on their song, Natural High. He was tall. He hadn't been touring for a while because he had been dealing with health issues. Let's talk about Viola Davis. She's gracing the cover of People magazine, looking fabulous. This is such a unique time for her. Her book, Finding Me, is out, and she talks about her life. She talks about going hungry because the family didn't have a lot. And she had, like other siblings. They would go through dumpsters to find food to eat. How she was bullied for the color of her skin. People would throw rocks at her, made her feel like you're not pretty, you're not worthy because she was a darker complexion. You do know colorism exists, and there are people who are darker skin fared who go through hell and are told, you're not pretty, you're not this, you're not that, and they're teased. This is what Viola Davis had to put up with growing up. She talked about how going into acting was this wonderful way for her to express herself. And she's no overnight success. It just took a long time for people to really take her serious. And I'll never forget when Meryl Streep said, well, somebody give this woman an Oscar because she really is an incredible actress. Viola Davis this Sunday, she's in the Showtime series First Lady, where she is playing former First Lady Michelle Obama. She's also sitting down with Oprah Winfrey on the 22nd in a Netflix special where Viola and Oprah, and she goes into the many details of her life. Jennifer Lopez, there's a new documentary coming out about her life called Halftime. She just got engaged again to Ben Affleck. The ring is gorgeous. He proposed to her in a bubble bath. The documentary debuts on Netflix June 14th. This is the second half of her life. And J-Lo says, as a Latina, as a mother, as an artist, how she can use her voice for a greater purpose. Please do not tell me y'all sick of J-Lo, because y'all love to do this. This is why I didn't bring her up this week. Britney Spears is pregnant. Again, it's her third child. It seems like y'all get mad when I bring up certain things. And I'm like, I'm not trying to trigger nobody. But these are things that are happening. Remember the 1992 movie White Men Can't Jump? Rosie Perez, Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes. There's a new reboot coming with actor Jack Harlow and actor Sin-Qua Walls. He played Don Cornelius in the BET movie about Soul Train. He was in Power. He's been in a lot of shows. He's in Resort to Love. You see him, but he's going to be one of the stars of White Men Can't Jump. Did I want to say drunk? No, I didn't want to say that. Carlos King is coming to the OWN network. Carlos King is known for talk shows, podcasting. Now he's getting a late night show on the OWN network. The Nightcap with Carlos King. Now you see how Andy Cohen does with Watch What Happens Live. This is kind of like a black version of Watch What Happens Live, featuring a lot of the stars from the OWN reality shows, including Love and Marriage. Y'all know I adore Keke Palmer. The movie Alice, okay, it didn't do well. They're going to have to put it on streaming. But she got a new job. I love Keke Palmer because Keke Palmer keeps a gig. It's a game show called Password on NBC. Jimmy Fallon is producing. Celebrity guests and people come together to guess words and win cash. You know what's streaming right now on Netflix? Former President Barack Obama. He's doing a docuseries on national parks, not only in the States, but all around the world. And it is simply beautiful when you hear climate warming and the preservation of things that happen here. It's very important preserving our national parks. This Sunday, Easter Sunday, Resurrection Sunday, it's a versus battle between Mary and BB and CeCe Winans. You can find it on YouTube. Versus is VERZUZ-TV on IG and other platforms. I think this is going to be a really good setting between two contemporaries in gospel music that have given us great inspirational music. Lizzo, I got to remind y'all every day that she's not only singing, she's performing, she's acting on Saturday Night Live. She's in New York now getting ready. Her new shapewear line, Yitty, is coming. And I also hear that new music is coming as well. Due Season is a new movie with Vivica Fox. It starts streaming tomorrow on BET Plus. And Monique, ahead of her movie that Lee Daniels is producing. She is getting comedy shows all across the land. So catch her before she goes into filming, because filming, she's going to be in this movie called Demon House, where she plays a social worker trying to help a family who says their home is possessed. Andra Day is also starring in this movie. Filming starts early June, but Monique is doing comedy spots around. I know she's coming to where I am up here near Philadelphia, doing 2 shows, and cannot wait to see her. Leave your comments. I always say we can agree to disagree. You can point out stuff. You just don't have to be mean, because I really have zero patience, zero tolerance for mean people, and that's when Auntie has to do the snatching. But it's good. Conversation and dialogue and discussion is good, because you can agree to disagree, but there's a way that you go about doing. I love hearing from you guys. I really, really do. So leave a comment, give a thumbs up if you like the video, and have a great day. I'm Patty Jackson. Thanks so much for joining me. I am your auntie of pop culture.